Ever feel like you're running a tiny dictatorship where the toddlers are in charge? I mean, who hasn't been held hostage by a rogue sippy cup or a demand for the exact blue crayon? You're not alone. Welcome to the Rising Parent Podcast, where we help you navigate the sometimes chaotic world of raising kids. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna. And this week, we're tackling a topic that I know so many parents are wrestling with: reclaiming your authority in a child-centric world. So whether you feel like your home has become a daycare run by tiny dictators, or you're just struggling to be heard, we're here to help you find your voice again, and maybe even get those crayons put back in the box.
Exactly. We're going to dive into why our best intentions can sometimes lead us down a path where our kids are calling all the shots, and more importantly, how to gently but firmly steer things back in a direction that works for the whole family. All right, Edna, so let's kick this off with a question. What's the biggest thing you see parents struggling with when it comes to authority in the home?
Oh, Tim, it's the martyr parent trap for sure. It's something I see all the time in my coaching. The idea that self-sacrifice is the ultimate form of love. I mean, it sounds good in theory, right? But in practice?
In practice, it's a recipe for resentment on everyone's part.
Totally. I remember one of my daycare clients. She was practically bending over backward to fulfill her son's every whim. I mean, every single whim. He wanted a snack 10 minutes after lunch. Boom, she was whipping up a gourmet treat. He didn't want to wear his coat, even though it was freezing outside. Okay, no coat.
I've seen it. It's like they become short-order cooks and personal assistants all rolled into one. But what's the result?
The result? A kid who doesn't listen, who expects everything to be handed to him on a silver platter, and a parent who's completely burned out and feels totally unappreciated. She was constantly complaining that he never listened, never helped out, and seemed to have zero respect for her.
Yeah, because if you're constantly putting their needs above your own, you're inadvertently teaching them that your needs don't matter. And kids are smart. They pick up on that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And then when the parent finally tries to put their foot down, it's World War III because the kid is so used to getting their way. It's like, wait, you mean I don't get to dictate everything?
Exactly. So how do we break free from this martyr mom or martyr dad trap? What's the first step?
Well, the first step is recognizing that self-care isn't selfish. It's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Right. You have to take care of yourself first. Then you have the energy and the emotional bandwidth to be a good parent. It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first on an airplane.
Exactly. And it's not just about bubble baths and spa days, although those are nice too. It's about setting boundaries, saying no when you need to, and making time for the things that nourish you as a person.
So for the mom, that might have looked like saying to her son, lunch was just 10 minutes ago. You'll have to wait until snack time. Or, it's cold outside. You need to wear your coat.
Exactly. And sticking to it, even if the kid throws a tantrum, which, let's be honest, they probably will at first.
Oh, guaranteed. But that leads us to the next point, understanding the psychology of respect. It's not just about obedience. It's about creating a relationship where your kids want to listen to you.
Absolutely. And that starts with understanding that kids crave a leader, not just a best friend. I think a lot of parents get caught up in this idea of wanting to be their child's buddy, their confidant.
Which is fine to an extent, but you can't forget that you're still the parent. You're the one who's supposed to be guiding them, setting limits, and providing structure.
Precisely. Kids need to know that you're in charge, that you're capable of handling things, and that you have their best interests at heart. That's what makes them feel safe and secure.
It's about being authoritative, not authoritarian, right? Authoritarian is all about because I said so. There's no room for discussion or explanation.
Right. And authoritative is about setting clear expectations, explaining why those expectations are important, and being willing to listen to your child's perspective.
I remember a situation with one of my coaching families. Their little daughter was refusing to do her homework, and her parents were getting increasingly frustrated. They were yelling, threatening, and generally making the situation worse.
Sounds familiar.
So I suggested they try a different approach. Instead of just demanding that she do her homework, they sat down with her and asked her why she was struggling. Turns out she was having trouble with a particular math concept, and she was afraid to ask for help.
Oh, the poor thing.
Once her parents understood what was going on, they were able to provide the support she needed, and the homework battles disappeared. It was like magic.
It's amazing what happens when you actually listen to your kids.
Exactly. And it shows them that you respect them, that you value their opinions, and that you're there to support them, which, in turn, makes them more likely to respect you.
Makes total sense. So we've talked about breaking the martyr parent trap, understanding the psychology of respect. What's next?
Next up, we need to talk about how to use body language and tone to command a room. This is a big one. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it.
Oh, totally. I mean, you can say, please clean your room in a sweet, gentle voice, and your kids will probably just ignore you. But if you say it with a firm tone and direct eye contact,
Suddenly, the room starts to magically clean itself. Okay, maybe not magically, but you're definitely more likely to get a response.
it's about projecting confidence and authority. Stand up straight, make eye contact, and speak clearly and deliberately.
And avoid things like mumbling, fidgeting, or looking away. Those behaviors undermine your authority and make you look unsure of yourself.
And be mindful of your facial expressions. If you're scowling or rolling your eyes, you're sending a message of negativity and disrespect, even if your words are neutral.
Right. It's all about congruence. Your body language, your tone, and your words should all be saying the same thing.
I remember watching one of my daycare moms interact with her son. She was constantly telling him to stop running around, but she was saying it in this whiny, almost pleading voice, and she was kind of slouching, avoiding eye contact.
So her son was basically ignoring her.
Of course, because her body language was saying, I don't really expect you to listen to me. So I suggested she try standing up straight, making eye contact, and using a firm, clear voice. And guess what? It worked.
Amazing. It's like they can sense the shift in your energy.
Exactly. And it's not about being aggressive or intimidating. It's about being assertive and confident.
So we've covered the martyr parent trap, the psychology of respect, body language, and tone. Is there anything else we need to address?
Yeah, let's talk about redefining the family hierarchy. I think a lot of parents are afraid of creating a hierarchy because they think it's going to make them look like dictators.
But a healthy hierarchy isn't about dictatorship. It's about creating structure and order. It's about recognizing that parents are in charge because they have the experience, the wisdom, and the responsibility to guide their children.
Precisely. It's about creating a clear chain of command, so to speak. Kids need to know that mom and dad are the ones who make the final decisions and that their opinions, while valued, are not always going to dictate the outcome.
This doesn't mean you can't be flexible or collaborative. It just means that you're ultimately responsible for the well-being of your family, and you need to make decisions that reflect that responsibility.
I think it helps to think of it as a team. The parents are the coaches and the kids are the players. The coaches listen to the players, they take their input into consideration, but ultimately they're the ones who make the game plan.
That's a great analogy, and it creates a sense of shared responsibility. Everyone understands their role, and everyone works together towards a common goal.
Exactly. And when everyone knows where they stand, it creates a more peaceful and harmonious household.
So, to recap, we've talked about breaking the martyr parent trap by prioritizing self-care, understanding the psychology of respect and being a leader, using body language and tone to project confidence, and redefining the family hierarchy to create structure and order.
That's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's all doable and it's all worth it. Because when you reclaim your authority as a parent, you're not just making your own life easier, you're also setting your kids up for success.
Absolutely. You're teaching them valuable lessons about respect, responsibility, and boundaries, which will serve them well throughout their lives.
So let's distill this down into a few key takeaways that parents can start implementing today.
All right, let's do it.
First, remember that self-care isn't selfish. Make time for the things that nourish you, and don't be afraid to say no when you need to.
Second, strive to be a leader, not just a friend. Set clear expectations, explain why those expectations are important, and be willing to listen to your child's perspective.
Third, pay attention to your body language and tone. Project confidence and authority, and make sure your nonverbal cues are congruent with your words.
And finally, don't be afraid to establish a healthy family hierarchy. Create structure and order, and make sure everyone understands their role and responsibilities.
And remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You're not going to get it right every time, and that's okay. Just keep striving to be the best parent you can be, and be patient with yourself and your kids.
Exactly. And if you need help along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to a parenting coach or therapist. There are plenty of resources available to support you on your journey.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Rising Parent Podcast.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you found this helpful.
And now for our call to action.
Okay, here it is. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Rising Parent Podcast. It really helps us reach more parents who are struggling.
And while you're at it, leave us a 5-star review. It makes a huge difference in helping us get discovered.
And be sure to visit our website at risingparent.org.
Oh, and one more thing. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover on a future episode, let us know. We're always looking for new ideas. So request an episode topic and we will make that episode for you.
Yes, we're here to serve you and your parenting journey. So don't be shy.
Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Rising Parent Podcast.
Bye for now.